Hey City Fam, I tried to do this a minute ago and for whatever reason it didn't work. I went to go figure out what I was doing wrong and found out that actually when you turn your camera sideways, when you turn it horizontal, you can't see the comments, so that makes a lot more sense. I'm not absolutely crazy, but I am figuring all of this out, so thanks for just, I don't know, being patient with me. So I actually want to retell the story that I was trying to tell you guys earlier. So last night I went out to go listen to some music with some of my CityFam friends here in Houston, and we ended up at this place called The Barn. It's a place not too far from here, but there were so many people there, and it actually felt like being a little bit normal. It was like you didn't have to walk in with a mask. You could sit around, nobody had masks on. Actually, we were outside, so it makes a lot of sense like that. But it was gorgeous. It was like a nice night. There was this big giant tree in the middle. It had lights just hanging everywhere. It had a band playing. There were people just like actually hanging out, meeting new people. There were these groups, these singles groups, all over this place. I don't think it was planned. It was like, that's just how the night went. And I ended up meeting a girl I had never met before. Really nice. Actually, a girl named Tina, so hopefully you guys will see her on here. But I was sitting there talking to Tina, and she said, so what makes CityFam different than any of these other groups out here? Now, I happen to know just about every one of the groups out there. There were a couple I didn't know. So I had to think for a second, what makes CityFam different? So before I answer, that's my question for you guys. So I won't be able to see your comments, but I would love to see what you have to say. So actually I can see you, Maddie. Hey, I don't know if I'll be able to read your comment, but I can see that you're on here. So hey, so if you have, like, what would you say? How would you define CityFam? And then I'll tell you what I told Tina. So last night when I was talking to her, I kind of like scanned the whole group, the whole horizon, the whole place, and I was like, so CityFam is this. CityFam is not a group just for singles. There's actually people who are dating, there's people who are married, there's people who are engaged. It's just for anyone. So, hey Andrea. Okay, so I can see you guys. That makes me so happy. It's like I feel like I'm with you. So it's for anybody, and I think that makes CityFam really unique. It means that we're not just this singles group. The other thing that CityFam is it's not just this group of people who are looking for the next hookup. I could actually see it happening last night. I'm not kidding. Like, just the groups were, well, and you guys know, I don't have to explain it. The other thing we're not an abstinent group. This girl Tina had seen some of our videos. She knew where I stood. She knew things like that, and she thought that CityFam was just about people who are waiting. And CityFam is not that. CityFam is not an abstinent group. We're not a church. We're not a cult. We're a community, and I love our community. Vicky, hey, I think we're a community of positive, supportive people. Yes, that's exactly it. We are a group of positive, supportive people. Yes. So whenever I started to explain this to Tina, I told her, I said, we're just real. Like, that's one of the reasons why I love you guys, is that it's like everybody just shows up, and we're okay with imperfections. We're okay with being a work in progress. We're okay with not feeling like you've arrived, or like everyone's arrived, or that you have to dress a certain way, or look a certain way, or live in a certain tax bracket, or a certain part of town, or behave a certain way. We can all just show up how we are. I love that kind of culture. That's the kind of culture that I want to be around, because to tell you the truth, a bunch of Nicoles is super boring. I can promise you that. Hey Jess, look, I can see all of you guys. Oh, I'm so happy right now. I don't know what I was doing wrong earlier then, because it definitely wasn't working. I think that whenever I think about CityFam and like who we are, I think we're rare. I think it's very rare to find a culture of people who all show up from all of these different places, who all say, hey, it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s or in your teens like Maddie, or if you're in your 50s. It doesn't matter if you're even in between. It doesn't matter if you have a day job or if you have a night job. It doesn't matter if you are one race or another. It doesn't matter if you have an education level way up here or an education level way down here. We are all at this whatever place it is that we are saying, hey, we just want to be a better version than we were the day before. Whatever that looks like. And then it's almost like the way I feel like we are is we're pushing each other towards our best. And I don't know about you guys, but I love y'all for that. It's like my best may not be exactly what you think my best should be, but you still push me there anyway because you know it means something to me. And I feel like we can do that for each other. We can let each other be unique and celebrate it. Now, I used to imagine CityFam as this giant organization where you could be in any city, like you could travel and go to whatever city it is that you need to go to, and you could find a group of people who were just like that. Just like they have in Baltimore, we now have in Houston. And I imagined that anywhere we went, we could have that. But really, as I was thinking about this, I think we do have that. I believe that if I travel to Seattle, where Cammie and Ariel and Sabrina and all that group is, that I know I could find a group of people who welcomed me in. They were warm, they were inviting, they're rare, they're totally cool. They don't have these expectations of me that I can't carry. And I think if I went to Columbus or if I went to LA or if I went to, I mean, honestly, I've been to Dallas, I've been to Phoenix, I've been to Vegas, and I've been in those places where these groups are, and we are creating a culture like this. It is truth. Yes, hey Cammie. I believe that it's not just something that I'm imagining now, like it's something that's really truly there. And it's happening and it's growing. It's growing into places like Kansas and Missouri and Nashville and Iowa. If you guys only knew, like Delaware and New York, I know you guys have been a part of this even longer than I have. I just love it. Acceptance. Yes, Maddie, exactly. It's acceptance for wherever you are. You can totally bomb the day and you're still accepted. You could totally walk out of this group and come back 3 months later and you're accepted. You're welcome back in. I remember actually having a conversation with a guy here in Houston. His name's Paul. And I remember him telling me, this was his exact words. He said, Nicole, that was the nicest ass chewing I have ever received. And it was because I went to him and I was like, look, dude, what you've got happening in your life, no, it's not cool. It's not good. And you know what? It was because it was like that no man left behind kind of attitude. Like I wasn't gonna let him park where he was. He was better than that, right? And so instead of just letting him go or letting him do his thing, I was like, no, come on. Let's do this and let's do it together. So imagine if we had this tribe. Actually, don't imagine. You guys, we have this tribe of people who will not leave us behind. Now, it does take effort in our part. Our part is to show up, be a part of it, participate. You know, it takes us just jumping in there. And sometimes that's the scariest thing, is to jump in there. So my encouragement to you is, if you are watching this video and you've just kind of been lurking around, hey, Barry, see, it's been amazing doing life with CityFam. I agree. I'm glad that you feel the same way that I do, because it means that I'm not just feeling that way all by myself, which I knew that I wasn't anyway, but I love it. I'm glad you're doing life with us, Barry. So my challenge, again, to any of you who are just on the CityFam page or in the CityFam group, and you're just kind of watching, lurking, and I think lurking's fine. Honestly, check us out. See who we are. See what we do. But if that is you, my challenge to you is just to put yourself out there. You know, comment on a post. message somebody in the group, whatever it might be. Just get started on being a part of this community, the kind of community that changes lives because we're all doing life together. So I hope you guys had a great weekend. Hey Willis, sorry about that video earlier. I was trying, I promise I was. I really was. All right, well, happy Sunday. Tomorrow's Monday. Let's go crush this week, okay? Bye, you guys. Vicky, I'm so glad that you feel so welcomed. And your quarantine situation would have been really different. You know, I think, I wish that everybody could hear that the community, especially even the online community, like CityFam online, can actually be a community of people who also help you become the best version of yourself, who don't leave you behind, who challenge you to be your next day's best. I really believe that even though we can't see each other or know each other or meet each other live, that it can still happen that way. There is power in community. So let's go do this. Bye, you guys.